LONGBOX CRUSADE presents Transformers Chronicles.
Hello, and welcome back to Transformers Chronicles. I am Delvin, aka The Dark Web. And in case you're new to the show, welcome. Let me tell you what this thing is all about. We're going for a wild, crazy ride, chronicling the awesome, wacky, and sometimes knocked down, drag out world of Marvel Comics, the Transformers. But I will not be going at it alone. First up, we have the founder of the LONGBOX CRUSADE, the acolyte to the Transformers world, the seeker of the Matrix of Knowledge, the co-founder of Pat and Dave's Come Down on Them Tacos. His name is Pat Sampson. Pat, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
Well, Delvin, we are doing good.
Oh no.
And yeah, it's great. I'm happy to be here. We are happy to be here, and I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, we are doing pretty good. We're doing powerful. You know, my knowledge is super growing more and more, and we think we know a lot more Transformer stuff now. I found this thing. It was like they call it encyclopedia, so I was reading a lot.
Yeah.
Building up that knowledge base that I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but notice there's like this glowing aura.
Oh, is there? Yeah. Well, I'm trying some new skin stuff to help make me glow, and we think it's coming off pretty good.
Tell you what, I'm just going to back up a few paces.
Okay.
And
you want to see me in all my glory? Okay. Yeah.
Don't you mean see us in all of your glory?
Yes, we definitely.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do about that yet. Just stand over there in that open space and just turn your back to me and try to think fishy thoughts.
Okay. How are you doing, Delvin?
I'm okay.
We want to know this.
Well, if you want to know, I'll tell you. I am okay. Even though, I don't know, today I'm blaming it on daylight savings time. We just fell back. And I don't know for what. I thought I woke up and had a good night's sleep or whatever. And then like about an hour into the day, something between my neck and my back was just like, nah. Like, ow. Why does this hurt? I don't know. I just went from like the normal amount of pain that a 48-year-old might go through during the day to like, ow, this really hurts. So, chiropractor, I sat in the sauna a little bit. Like I turned out okay. I was well enough to go to jujitsu tonight. So that was good. It was a miraculous recovery. It's almost as if I were brushed by the Matrix, as it were.
Could be. Yeah. I was going to say, otherwise with the knowledge that I have been granted and been finding that, I could maybe find some solutions for you for that as well. We're really good at it.
I'm not sure if I really want those solutions, but you know what? I'm open to suggestions. We can talk about it at a later date. How about that?
We can have some good plans we can put together for you.
All right.
Good structure.
Got it. Okay. Purpose of this podcast will be tackling all of Marvel Transformers comics in order, starting with issue 1 and working our way to the series end at issue 80. We will answer any questions that are brought up to the best of our ability. I can't wait. There's this Transformer Spotlight that I actually get to answer some questions to the best of my ability. Anyway, and see how these books we loved then as a kid hold up to our eyes as an adult. Now, this podcast is guaranteed to be, you guessed it, more than meets the eye. So, Pat, let's see what happens when Thunderwing goes wild. Right after the promo break. he was sitting there, had a little bit too much to drink. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe not.
Does that feel mine?
maybe not that type of going wild. But anyway, right after the promo break.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
The most irregular Batman podcast returns. Bailey's Batman podcast is back with a new mandate and an actual honest-to-God release schedule. New episodes will drop the first Monday of every month, with the host, Michael Bailey, that's me, it's the Bailey of Bailey's Batman Podcast, going through the Batman media that I've consumed in the previous month. Comics, movies, novels, audio dramas, music, everything Batman related is on the table. It's 1 part commentary show, 1 part reading journal, and 3 parts personal journey of both discovery and rediscovery as I head back to Gotham City to get reacquainted with a character that was my absolute favorite until a certain Man of Steel took over that spot. Bailey's Batman Podcast. It's back. For reals. I'm not just doing this to mess with Professor Alan Middleton. Promise.
We now return to the Transformers.
Welcome back. The issue we will be covering today is Transformers issue 66. And here is Pat with the cover description.
All right. Well, thank you, Delvin. We have in the corner box, we have Optimus Prime staring down at us, pointing to us as usual, saying, hey, you need the Matrix. I need the Matrix. We all need the Matrix. But who actually will get it? On this cover, we have Thunderwing smacking the face of Optimus Prime out with the Matrix around his neck, like he's wearing the Matrix around his as a necklace, like a clock, like Flavor Flav would be doing.
You know what time it is, Pat?
What time is it? It's Matrix time.
Clock. Oh. Keep going.
So we have the Transformers logo is in all red. Atop of that is some text that says "By the Matrix, Possessed," and this is part 5 of 5 of the Matrix Quest. With that, let's go to Delvin.
What do you want me to do, Pat?
Oh, I don't know. What do you want me to do?
I'll just messing around. I'll talk about the cover. Thank you for that description. It is a simple enough cover, you know? I mean, you got Thunderwing like looking vicious, and he is putting a freaking right cross across Optimus Prime's face. and you're right. He's got that Matrix like like just bling around his neck. And what else do you need to say? Like, I mean, there's sometimes where you complain where it's like, man, and like, they've got the action lines behind it in yellow to accentuate the colors. Nightwing's primary color is blue. His face is yellow, and he has like a little green thing like on his chest plate area. And then, Optimus Prime's colors are basically, red and blue. So it's like that yellow just was a great backdrop for it. And it's just pretty simple.
Got them,
very
splash.
actiony. Yeah, like there's no questions asked here. Like, and even though they did give the cover blurb that said "By the Matrix, Possessed," and which is a good enough. I don't even think it needed it, but I don't think it detracted from the cover at all because as Jason is wont to say, don't bore us, get to the chorus. It's like, okay, like we got a fight going on. So it's time to open this cover and see what's up. But what do you think about the cover, Pat?
I think it's a very good cover. It definitely pulls you in to see what's going to happen because if you've been following this one, as we have, that this was coming. We've been waiting, at least 3 issues maybe or so. Once this quest started beginning, it was going to come down to Prime and Nightwing, Thunderwing and Thunderwing to come and fight. So to see him though raging and just Optimus Prime is always taking a beating. Yeah. But then he gives But when was the last time we saw a cover where Optimus Prime was actually giving somebody the beatdown?
Whew. That's a good question.
That's a good,
I don't know.
Usually it's...
how it is, though. I mean, like, do we see many covers of Spider-Man where Spider-Man is winning? Like for somewhere along the way, like, the publishers of these comic books figured it was a good sell to see their heroes in danger on the cover. And I don't think it's a bad way to go because, but then again, like once you reach, let's just say Transformers made it to issue 350, right? And it's like, oh no, will Optimus Prime die? Probably not. Well, no, then again, it's Optimus, so maybe. But more often than not, he won't die. There'll be a good enough build up to it, right? And so, like, same thing. Like, there's Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man is approaching, if you can believe this, its 1,000th issue. And like, how many issues of Spider-Man would you think on the cover Spider-Man was in trouble of some sort? I'd say easily 800. Right, 800, 850. So
99.
Right, yeah. There's a decent amount. So yeah, but big question about Optimus. Like, I mean, Lord knows. I mean, he's a strong, powerful robot, and he needs to be, because he takes a licking often and keeps on ticking most of the time. Anyway,
but yeah, as far as the line work go and the artistry of it, I think it's a great looking cover and well done with the line work and as well as the colors.
Yeah. Once again, by the way, and then you're going to be reading the cover credits in a second, but Ian Aiken drew this cover again. And like, I'm impressed with, he's normally an inker. I'm impressed with his overall artistry. My guess, once again, would have been that Jose Delbo drew this cover. And once again, I would be incorrect on that. So, well-drawn cover. Ian Aiken has drawn like the last couple. So it seems like, we have a established cover artist, maybe, who knows? But
we'll see.
Yeah, guess we'll see. But so far, good cover. But how good is a mystery. Until now, we're going to rate things on Transformers Chronicles on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, like the tech specs of old, to see what we think about this cover. And why the heck not? I'll go first. It's really good. I would have given it an 8. I'm going to bump it to a 9 because if I like Transformers and I saw this cover, I'd pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got Optimus on it, and it's like, okay, there is someone who is enough of a threat that he can, put a good lick on Optimus Prime? On Power Master Optimus Prime even. Like, okay. That might get my attention. I'll be interested to see how that turns out. So I'm going to bump it up, and just overall kudos to Ian Aiken for providing some good covers recently. I think he's done a great job recently providing covers too. What do you think, Pat? What would you rate it?
I'm going to agree with you on this as a 9, and maybe, would I go a little higher? Maybe, but I do like it. And I was just thinking, what? If I could have it as a poster, I'd take it and put it up, because I think this is so, draws you in, and it's just so actiony, and just, it's Transformers to me is what I'm seeing this one. Yeah. And because of it being the end of the Matrix quest, it also has that little, I don't want to say nostalgia feel for me, but just because I've just read it. But I think that when I see this cover again, I'm going to know it, and I'm going to know the story. Yeah. It's memorable.
Okay. And we will talk about how memorable the Matrix quest was in a second. But for now, we are going to turn it back to Pat, and he's going to read us the cover credits for this issue.
All right. Well, Delvin, thank you. I'm glad you asked. The issue we are covering is Transformers 66. Its on sale date was March 27th of 1990. Cover dated was May of 1990. Cover price was $1. The story is by Simon Furman. Art is Jeff Sr. Colors go to Nelson Yamtov. Letters is Jim Massara. Editor is Don Daly. The cover credits go to Ian Aiken. And this is all brought to you by Mike's Amazing World and tfwiki.net for that information.
Thank you, Pat. Let's get right to the synopsis.
It is a world transformed, where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers.
The Transformers from Marvel Comics.
The title of this issue was All Fall Down. We are at part 5 of the Matrix quest, and I hope you brought a tarp or something because the shit has hit the fan, y'all. But first, a vignette and an important one. While Unicron knows exactly where the Matrix is and all the trouble that is going on with all of that, Unicron still wants to cause some trouble to disrupt things since he has a considerable ways to get to Cybertron, so he dispatches 3 robotic goons throughout time to find the ideal disruptor. Any idea who that's gonna be? It's gonna be going to the action of the book. That's how I wanted to end that last paragraph. The fight is on, y'all. While Optimus Prime gets some good licks in, Thunderwing and the Matrix quickly turn the tables on him. And just as Thunderwing is ready to strike the final blow, Prime distracts T-Wing into exposition, which leaves him vulnerable to attack, which only serves to have the Matrix take Thunderwing over. One more vignette. Shockwave seems to be considering an alliance with Starscream. That's probably bad news for Scorponok, right? Anyway, and once again, back to the main action. The Matrix-controlled Thunderwing almost wins the whole day, but Nightbeat, Siren, and Hosehead help to make a spectacular save that ends explosively for Thunderwing. And oh yeah, the Matrix too. What does that mean for the future? Let's talk about it on Transformers Chronicles, highs and lows and stuff. Me and Pat are about to have a conversation and stuff. Pat is going to start us off. Part 5 of 5 of the Matrix quest, Pat. What you thinking?
Yeah. What a incredible issue, I should say, is that I think this was a great culmination of all of it coming together finally. And there really wasn't any theme thing that they did here, unless I'm missing it from what we saw through the other 4 issues where they were movie kind of,
Yeah, I know. I think no theme was there. I think the themes are done and they're just like, let's get to Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Okay. All right. So that's the way I felt, but it was a welcome one because there was a lot to come together in this one. And I think it was pulled off really good. I was page turning it, and then it got to the end. I'm like, what? That's it? What's happening?
So what happened at the end, Pat?
Well, at the end, we have how they got the Matrix, or at least how they kind of got rid of Thunderwing by like sending in a harpoon, kind of harpooned him, and then opened the airlock. Everybody's out the airlock.
Yep.
And then it blows up. Then they set the ship that had the harpoon on them to blow up.
Yep.
And so I'm still wondering, where's the Matrix now?
And Thunderwing, for that matter.
Yeah, and Thunderwing. What happened with that? And then, like you had mentioned too, just the little vignette of Unicron as well, and the other one with Starscream.
Before we get to the vignettes, let's take
the story.
Yeah, let's talk about the main action of the book. I had something just pop in my head, so I'll share it. This is the second major arc that Simon Furman has done. He started out with this, with Skin Deep and basically the Starscream plot where Megatron returned. And like Starscream came looking indestructible until he was hit. And then but the main action was Megatron trying to set up his kingdom again. Ratchet pushes him into some explosives and kaboom! Right? This one ended in an explosion too. Right? You had, you had Thunderwing, the big bad guy, harpooned. And him and the Matrix got yanked out of the arc and seemingly exploded. So my question for you is, do you think that we've seen the end of Thunderwing and the Matrix?
I don't think so. I am thinking that for some reason, or just because the Matrix is the Matrix, it probably preserved itself somehow. And in the vicinity of close by it was Thunderwing, so somehow it's it probably did a bubble to protect itself, and then the explosion sent it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or wherever. I don't know yet. But I think that's probably what it did, because we kind of got that throughout the story of the Matrix Quest, right? How it was kind of trying to do a few different things, and especially in this issue, it was kind of taking over, and it could kind of preserve Thunderwing when he had it. It put up like a shield or something.
Yeah,
that it was hard for people to crack it. And so that's my thought on it. And I guess we'll find out if I'm right or wrong as we go in more into further issues.
I mean, I've learned, Pat, that you usually have a pretty good beat on these things. That's why I like asking, just to see where you are on certain parts of the story. So go ahead.
So then would that, I know the other guy coming is the G, because we've kind of covered him in an issue further away.
What G?
Galvatron, right? But I still don't know. Is he like a mixture of Megatron, and is he a mixture of Megatron and Thunderwing?
No.
He's his own guy?
No. Yes and no, I guess.
Okay, so I gotta wait.
You do have to wait. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. That's fine.
And the it in this case is Galvatron.
Sure.
But how?
I don't know.
We saw them. Like, the interesting thing here is, like, the lot of questions in the letters page and stuff. And I remember this as a kid too. Like, I conflated the two. I assumed that, like, if the movie happened, that somehow the comic book was going to wrap its way around the movie. And it never really did. Because, like, they would insist that while, like, yeah, the movie was great and everything, like, but we are telling our own stories, and that's just something that kids back in the day really didn't quite get, me among them, as a 12, 13-year-old at the time.
Like a separation of the universes. You could have this alternate universe compared to
like how Marvel very smartly named it the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as opposed to, like, as separate from the Marvel 616 universe, that is the comic books. So to answer your question, Galvatron from the movie Megatron was about to die. Megatron had basically been beaten up by Optimus Prime, almost that was as climactic a battle as you might ever see in the Transformers, and that happened in the movie. Megatron and Optimus Prime went at it, and like Optimus Prime died. Megatron almost died, and Starscream took advantage of that and literally just threw him out in space. He ran into Unicron. Unicron said, "I am going to make you my minion, my harbinger. I'm going to completely convert your body and turn you into something more powerful than you've ever been." And that was Galvatron. So Galvatron's going to show up next issue, but we don't know how. I did hint at it though. I like how Simon Furman did this. He, first, they showed him just destroying a planet, and then there are even three criminals that tried to get away, and Unicron wouldn't even let them. It's like, nah, I'm destroying you too. But then, wait, I can use you. Let me repurpose you. Let me rebuild you, and then I am going to send you on a mission throughout time. Because Unicron has that ability. And how do we know Unicron has that ability? When that origin story happened, was it 61? I can't quite remember. That origin story where they talked about the origin of the Transformers, Primus and Unicron fought all across dimensions. It wasn't just in they started in one dimension, went all over different dimensions. So it's very feasible that Unicron could possibly see through time. And he had enough power, he dispatched these three hook, line, and sinker, were their names, dispatched hook, line, and sinker to go get Galvatron. And I don't know.
Well, I thought he wanted them to get the Matrix.
No.
Or just to get somebody that could hopefully, maybe I misread that then.
No, the idea, Pat, was that he's like, Unicron's like, okay, I sense where where Primus's life force is. I sense where the Matrix is. The Matrix is presently on the Ark. And it looks like, the Matrix is sort of trying to take a turn for evil here. So things might be in hand, but I want an insurance policy. So I'm going to send these 3 folks through time and I'm going to bring back a disruptor. And that disruptor is going to disrupt things even more for the Transformers, that by the time I get to Cybertron, they're going to be completely discombobulated and I can go munching on some Cybertron and evil wins the day.
Okay.
That's the big plan. That's the Unicron plan that's going forward right now. Okay. So I have set up very well next issue.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't so I have told you that they are going to get Galvatron, but when are they going to get them? And why? And would Galvatron want to come with them?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a fight? What's going to happen? None of that I'm going to tell you, Pat. We're going to have to wait for next month to figure out the answers to that. But I thought it was a very good way because after the events of last issue where Thunderwing is sitting there with the Matrix looking all powerful and Optimus Prime is in that surrender pose, no,
yeah,
and everything. You just thought it would start immediately with that action, and Simon was like, no. Got this little part to tell you first, from Unicron side, and then we're going to jump into the action. So, yeah, there's that. What else you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about somewhat of that. Basically, this was a really, except for some of those little vignettes there, the main story was a lot of action, right? It was a lot of it taking the fight between Thunderwing and obviously the rest of everybody else that's there, because he didn't care. He didn't care about his Decepticon buddies, and they finally knew it. Well, they knew eventually this was coming because they even mentioned it that, hey, we saw you getting really crazy here, man. Why don't you cool down for a little bit? And and he smacked them too.
Yep.
So I like that it finally came to this very obsessiveness of him, but was it him a little bit, or then the Matrix really went all evil like that too? So I'm still kind of questioning that. Why is it doing it when it was, because it never had it before? I think we probably talked about it last go around, that it didn't really know the evil, so it wanted to know a little bit more, and seems like it's getting a little power hungry now.
Yep. But keep going.
Oh, but I do like how eventually they all kind of got together and said, hey, we got a bigger threat here right now that we need to kind of shut Thunderwing down, at least to help us all out, because there's a bigger bad coming. We don't know how long it's going to take for this guy to get here, but there's a bigger bad coming that we need the Matrix to hopefully stop the bigger bad. But now, are they going to get it? I don't know.
Yeah. It put Optimus Prime in a heck of a position.
Did.
Because you've got the Matrix seemingly being controlled by a Decepticon. And you also just have the Matrix itself, which has been corrupted. And I think even better way to put it, it kind of reminded me, the Matrix Thunderwing dynamic kind of reminds me of a couple years back when in that Headmaster series, when Lord Zarak got corrupted by Scorponok. Lord Zarak, pretty not the greatest guy, but he was just kind of like a
sense, yeah.
Yeah, he was a statesman. He was a politician, maybe a little radical, but not so much so. But then, sure enough, Scorponok seized on that. And when they did the whole Headmaster thing and the two personalities meshed, Scorponok took over on Lord Zarak. And Lord Zarak was completely corrupted. That's what seems to be happening here. in that, like, you have a powerful entity in the Matrix, and you have someone who wanted to seek the Matrix just as bad as any Autobot did in Thunderwing, and it wound up like just corrupting him and completely turning him. Well, mostly because like he kept showing flashes.
Yeah, especially when it was like too much, because there was a fight between who has control, and so I think that's where he was like, Thunderwing himself was like, no, I don't want to give you control. I want to be in control.
Yep. And to the point where I think it was Spencer, one of the Decepticons, finally kind of left out the pod and was like, boss, killing Optimus Prime would be great and all, but he's right. You're losing it.
Yeah, you're cray right now. You need to.
Thunderwing Snicker bar. Yeah, he needed a Snickers. Like, and sure enough, Thunderwing like attacked him, but it was more of the Matrix. And then as soon as Thunderwing was like, I didn't want to do that. That's my brethren. That's my brother in arms. Like, what the heck's going on? So and that dynamic was never fully solved. It looked like Thunderwing / Matrix / Thunderwing was going to win the whole day. Because, like, once again, was standing over a defeated Optimus Prime, and with no reinforcements coming, like, you had Nightbeat, who thankfully had a smart idea, had a harpoon as a part of the ship, and like put that grappling hook in him, and it just shot him out into space, which wound up saving the day. And and of course, the ship exploded, and presumably Thunderwing and the Matrix exploded with it. Presumably.
Yes.
I would venture to say, if this will not be the last storyline that ends in a earth-shattering kaboom, as it were. And so it's like,
get used to it.
Get used to it, yes. But explosions are funny things in comic books, right? Like, like a good writer usually uses an explosion to delay things, or to push those characters aside for a bit. It's not necessarily just to kill them, unless you see the body. I mean, that's just the comic book trope, right? Like, if you don't see the body, they're not dead. Yeah. So let's just assume Thunderwing and the Matrix aren't dead. And for that matter, let's just assume Ratchet and Megatron aren't dead either.
That's true.
Like, let's just assume that. And so it'll be interesting to see why Simon delayed them both. Because right now, like, to this story, we have been led to understand that they can't beat Unicron without the Matrix.
Yes.
And even though Optimus Prime kind of ended it on a cheery note, and it's like, as long as we believe, hope will save the day. Will it?
Or one?
They kind of need the Matrix, but I'll add this too. There is some hope. Like, there was, Optimus Prime gave a little bit of exposition while he was giving some double axe handles to Thunderwing. It's like, you've held onto this Matrix for days, for weeks. Like, I have held onto this thing for 4 million years. I know the Matrix, and I know that there is good inside the Matrix, and it's calling out to me.
Yeah.
So that's a saving grace of sorts. If right now it seems like the Matrix is going through its teen phase. No one understands me, Dad. Covering up, wearing the black makeup or whatever, because he's housed inside of Optimus Prime and all the primes, and the primes are a force of good. All the Matrix is known as good, but the Matrix had an opportunity to test out evil and bad, and it's intrigued by it. And it's like, this is me now. This is, I'm in my dark phase. Yeah. Like, not a good time to be in a dark phase.
Especially, true.
With Unicron coming, but that's where we are right now. That is the state of play, as it were.
I want to say, you mentioned, Prime and Thunderwing. Their fight, both were well handled by each other. You know what I mean? Like, Prime would kind of gave a smack down to Thunderwing for a while and just got souped to the edge. And then the role reversed again, and then Prime's getting beat up, but with the help of the Matrix as well, kind of pushing Thunderwing to do that. So I thought the brawl was very well done.
I did too. The only complaint that I had, but it was a repeated theme throughout the Matrix quest, where like the very like first time where Optimus Prime completely had Thunderwing down and had picked up some big thing and was about to crush him, and Thunderwing pretty smartly held the Matrix out and was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna crush the Matrix too? You're gonna crush the Matrix too?" If I were Optimus Prime, then I'm like, "No," and I would have crushed his legs. Now, if that would have made the Matrix angry and it would have revived them, like I think that would have been a better turn for the story. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because like Optimus Prime is a warrior. He has been fighting a war for 4 million years. I do not think Optimus Prime would hesitate to find some way to incapacitate Thunderwing.
Mm-hmm. Just to knock him out so the Matrix couldn't hold on to him.
Exactly. And that was the thing that I kept being like, okay, like, you know, because, you know, at one point even Optimus Prime told like the Autobots, like, don't attack him. And it's like, the hell you say? Of course attack him. Like, that's the bad guy. Put him down and we get the Matrix. So I was a little bit, I wish that, I did understand it, but I wish that Simon would have just let him become more of a warrior and just like, and do the warrior thing and find a way to incapacitate Thunderwing and not just have to basically get beaten and battered and get a lot of Autobots hurt in order to wind up stalemating, really, because they didn't even wind up with the Matrix at the end of the day.
True. Yeah, they don't even have it. And like you said, their crew, both sides are a lot worse off right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of been that way since issue 50. You've got depleted Autobots, you've got depleted Decepticons right now. And just at the worst time, like the thing that should be able to help heal them all and put them in a position to defend themselves against a world-ending threat, like they don't have it. The Matrix is not there to provide for them. So interesting things afoot. The only thing I think we haven't mentioned, Pat, is do you have any insight into what you think's going on with Shockwave and Starscream?
My thought for that would be, you know, it's Starscream. He's going to be scheming.
Starscream be scheming, boy.
Yeah. And so Shockwave is going to use that for as much as he can. And then, you know, of course, then Shockwave's going to take over Starscream, you know, or just let Starscream do what he wants to do, make that disruption. Basically, it's doing what Unicron's trying to do, right? He's going to just try to let Starscream kind of, hey, buddy, I'm on your side, you know, relax. We got to, you go ahead and do whatever. I'll be your friend until I'm not. And then I'm going to take over and just let you, you know, get me what I want and bring it to me. And then I'll get rid of you.
I remember the main beat of the story in that I know what happens in Transformers 75. Okay. You do too, but it's been years ago since
it's been years, yeah.
And so like you have no idea of the buildup. I don't remember what happens with the Shockwave, Starscream, Scorponok storyline. Okay. I don't. So
I'm assuming it'll probably play out for a little while.
We have a little while to go. Not a lot of while, a little. I mean, this is issue 66. The big bang, the big fight with Unicron happens in issue 75. I'm not spoiling anything. You've already read that book. So like there's a lot that is going to have to happen in 9 months that is leading up to this. I'm certainly excited about it. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, Pat, is there anything else that you want to add?
The only other thing I would add is that I also liked, and maybe it's like a third vignette that happened, if we're going to keep you saying that, is that I like that they at least took a page to tell us how Thunderwing got the Matrix finally from Bumblebee in that, from the last issue of where they left off. I like that. That kind of helped put a kind of closure to all that buildup to where we saw at the end, why is it Thunderwing standing there, like you said, with the Matrix and just going, aha.
Yep. Agreed. And one of the things I remember from way back in the day, one of the most fuel efficient Autobots is Bumblebee. Like, Bumblebee can keep going long after many Autobots, and I suppose Decepticons too, have stopped because he was just built it like ridiculously fuel efficient.
Okay.
And like, so who knows? Like, they could have shown that fight, but like it would have been very one-sided at that point because Grimlock was basically down for the count. Jazz was basically down for the count. Mm-hmm. And Bumblebee is no match whatsoever for Thunderwing at all. So so I think that's probably why Simon made the decision. It's like, yeah, I'll explain it in a panel or two, but they're still alive.
Yeah, it didn't say. He just, like you said, nobody. We don't know.
Well, no, not even that. Thunderwing literally said, "I left them alive." He said it.
Okay, maybe I missed that part too.
Yeah.
I just know he said it was a titanic effort to fight or whatever. So they put up a good fight.
Yeah, like he was like, I think he said something to the effect of after he dispatched of like the Matrix spawn creature. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it was like, it's a high gravity on that planet. It's like, you would be proud of how far away that they got. Like they almost got back to the ship. Like, but nah, they didn't get there because I was on one. I was crazy. I had to get that Matrix. So yeah, and even then, the Matrix was being a messy little thing there, right? Like because. Mm-hmm. They're getting away with the Matrix, and the Matrix called out to both the Matrix Spawn and Thunderwing, and it's like, and both of them but sure enough, Thunderwing used that distraction and impaled the Matrix Spawn, and then went ahead and got the Matrix, and so the Matrix quest has come to an end. What are your thoughts? Like before we go to the other stuff, what are your thoughts overall? Do you think this is a pretty good 5-part story, Pat?
Yes, in a way. I think it could have been done maybe a 4-parter. I guess all the extra stuff that they were doing, maybe not. I think what throws me off is just the themes that they used for the 4, the movier themes that they used. It's like, did you really have to do this? You could have just done some sort of a, fetch or quest to fetch and find that could have taken a little less time. But all in all, I think I think it came together pretty good.
I do too. I think it started off weird. Yeah, it started off innocuously enough, like where you're just like, oh, okay, yep, you got these 3 Autobots and they're looking for the Matrix, ho hum, and by the time that the 5 of 5 came out, it's like, oh wow, it went from just being one planet to just almost universe expanding, and so the scope was narrow to start, and then it just at the end just completely blew out. And so I thought that 5, where maybe it could have been done in maybe 4 parts, but I think 5 gave it enough time for it to stretch its legs, and it definitely gave us a great ending to part 4 of it, and it led to a spectacular knockdown drag out here in part 5 of 5. Okay. So I personally think overall, it was a good use of the 5 issues.
I would agree with that. I think in the that I know from the story from start to finish. Yeah. I can definitely see that it was like a slow burn, definitely of Thunderwing just going crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
Very slow burn through that. So if I look through it that lens, then yeah.
I just had another thought, Pat. And that is, if you think about it, like Thunderwing kind of went through some of the beats of all the stories. Like like where, especially like the cowboy story where like that the vampires were slowly taking over his mind. He sort of got possessed.
Yeah.
And then he was possessed in a different way, like obsessed with the Matrix so much so that it was like everything else around him became less important. He was only singularly focused, kind of like the Moby Dick story as well. And then like he sure enough wound up like being turning into something almost completely different, like what happened in the last issue. So it's almost like Thunderwing himself went through all of the paces that the Autobots went through in the Matrix Quest, like in his own way. With that, we can talk about who had the touch. Where we talk about which character in the book stood out the most. Autobot, Decepticon, human. There are no humans in this book anymore. That's actually not true, by the way. But you know,
it's been a while since we've seen.
It's been a while, but we're not completely done with humans yet. I'll just dangle that carrot out there for you. But who had the touch to you, Pat?
Whew, boy. Well, I gotta say the touch. I'm going to say it's going to be Thunderwing. I think he was the most. I don't want to say not totally in control, but he was the most devastating and just he was the most powerful in this one to come off it. So
I'll match that. A part of me wants to say Optimus Prime, you know, because and Optimus Prime was admirable in this book. The thing that I am happy about, because he had a minor role in this book. He sent all the Autobots out to do things. They gave him a little vignette a couple of issues ago,
building up that threat.
To where he was just like, I think this is all going to end badly. And at least at the end of this book, he has some hope. He's like, yeah, we may have lost the Matrix, but like we will find another way. We will stand united and we will figure this out. And I like my Optimus Prime hopeful rather than hopeless. So I appreciated him having that at the end.
Yeah. But you know, like I could give it to him, or you could give it to the one that did the harpoon, Nightbeat. Yeah. So you could give it to him too, just for the plan to do it. But I think the real person that had the touch, had the Matrix touch, let's say it that way. Was Thunderwing. I think, we finally got to see him just unleashed a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Thunderwing, and it's very rarely that you even get to see bad guys do that. And like in him plus the Matrix, he
that
alone,
was a threat. That was a threat.
He alone, I think Optimus Prime beats him. It would be a tough fight, but I think he alone would have been a tough foe for Optimus Prime. Him plus the Matrix was completely unstoppable. He literally said it. And then even the book's exposition said, well, as the fight keeps going on, like the Autobots are fighting valiantly, but as they fall one by one, they're beginning to see that he truly is unstoppable with the Matrix. And it's just like, woof. So the Matrix was reveling in the newfound glory of being evil, as it were. If we had talked about the touch, then someone had to be out of touch. We talked about the character that was the worst in the book and should... you know what, Pat? I'm not sure anyone really messed up here.
You know what? I just came to my mind. I'm going to say the person that out of touch is the Matrix, because like Optimus said, hey, I've had this in me for how many years now? I know there's good in it. Stop being that way.
Right. I like that, Pat. When I was gonna try and convince you that everyone played their role, but you're right. The character in the book that was the most out of touch was the Matrix. Where the Matrix is almost like, ooh, this is a new experience and I should try it. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't. Yeah. Now it's
you had enough. Yeah. You had enough. Now stop it.
Yeah. Like it's like, no, we want more. We want more. Like to even where like I like that Optimus Prime sort of was, rope-a-doping Thunderwing a little bit. It's like, I totally acknowledge your mastery. Could you tell me what happened to Grimlock in the oven? And Thunderwing's like, oh, yes, that was a good gambit, wasn't it? And the Matrix was like, kill him.
I said, kill him.
Like,
don't let them talk to you.
Yeah, we got no time for talking. Kill him. And Thunderwing just ignores it and keeps on with the exposition. Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's a great take, Pat. So I will go 2 for 2 with you on that and say it's The Matrix. Talk about the book. Talked about the touch. Talked about Less Than Meets the Eye. So let's talk about ratings for the book. 1 to 10, like the text specs of old. I thought about this, Pat. For me, it's a 9.
Ooh,
it is very good. Like, it was a great ending to me. His Simon's first story arc was like started with the return of Megatron and ended with Ratchet just like outsmarting Megatron just a little bit, and then having the bravery to like push him on explosions, and then that boom, big explosion. Like that was so good. This was great.
Okay.
This was just a step below. And since I don't have the option of halvesies, I'm going to give it a 9 instead of a 10. But I think it was a great end to a very, very good storyline. What say you?
I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay.
Just because, it's my first time. So I was excited for it. And I think it paid off for me. It definitely paid off for me. So I can understand your hesitation because now, you've gone through this probably multiple times. And so I can understand where you're going to put one above the other. But for me, the first time reading through this paid off.
Yeah.
And it gave us a cliffhanger again, but a big cliffhanger, and set seeds again for some further future stuff to come on. So I really liked it.
I'm glad that you really liked it. And I mean, I really liked it too. Like from like reading it and just, it was a great payoff. Like you figured Thunderwing, and his meddling and his pursuit of power, it was going to make him cross Optimus Prime at one point. He did. And like the fight paid off.
Yeah.
Like just in a spectacular way. So yeah, it was well done. And there are just questions now as to what's next. Like right now, it seems like Unicron is coming. Unicron is dispatching people to go get someone to disrupt things even more than they're already disrupted. And they don't have the Matrix. And we're 9 months away from Unicron getting to Cybertron to fight them.
And both sides are somewhat depleted.
And both sides still don't like each other.
Yes. Yeah.
How the hell are we going to get this done in 9 months, Pat?
Only Simon knows.
Only Simon knows. Okay. We are going to do a Transformer Spotlight today. We've been slacking on that a little bit. And for whatever reasons, but like this one's going to be a little bit feature length. So bear with me a little bit. The first thing I just happened to see on the transmissions letter page in the book, they gave an excellent explanation about the creation matrix. And I wanted to share that with everyone, just in case you don't have your original copy of Transformers 66 like I do. That was a brag. Here goes. This was from the editor, Don Daly, at the time, because someone, his name was Bob Lupori from Round Lake Beach, Illinois, wrote in and asked questions about the creation matrix and all that. And so Don answered, okay, let's clear up a few gray areas concerning the creation matrix. The matrix is a tangible object housed, normally, in the chest compartment of the Autobot leader. This is not common knowledge among the rank and file of Autobot or Decepticon. It had long been assumed that because the Matrix power was focused through the mind of the Autobot leader, the energy lay there. What Shockwave got all those years ago was the stored Matrix force in Prime's mind.
Mhm.
Without the Matrix itself, in time, this store would have run dry. The creation matrix and the matrix of leadership are one and the same thing. Prime, because of the suddenness of his death, did not have a chance to pass the matrix on. And because the true nature and location of the matrix was such a closely guarded secret, the Autobots didn't know it was there to remove. They simply assumed that it had died with Prime's mind. Finally, the Transformers became known as the Transformers because they became subliminally aware of the name Primus himself had given. So we had talked about some of those things in the past few months, and I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that is too good. I have to share that with the listening audience, where the person that wrote in was kind of like, well, like this was a different name from the movie and everything. It's like, no, I got you. Let me do my editorial job and sum this up. And him and Simon probably sat there and had a pint and came up with a good answer for it. So that was should answer a few questions that people may have about the creation matrix, about Shockwave taking it from Prime's head as opposed to whether it being a thing in the chest. That's something we've talked about in the past. Well, looks like the Transformers editorial team was on it and talked about it in the book.
Makes sense now. Definitely.
But wait, there's more. I also wanted to talk about Thunderwing because he's been such a pivotal part of the book. And bear with me, this is going to be a bit, but hopefully it's something that you all can appreciate. This is all cribbed directly from tfwiki.net. Thank you once again to them for being so doggone awesome and for providing this information for me to share with people who listen to this podcast. In a better world, Thunderwing would be the ideal Decepticon leader. He's fearless, ruthless, and immensely powerful, while uncommonly concerned about the welfare of his fellow Decepticons. For this mindset, Thunderwing gets a high approval rating from his peers, but sadly, this is not the whole story. Thunderwing's vice is simply obsession. When his mind sets its sights on a who or a what that furthers his goals, he will stop at nothing to achieve victory. Slowly but surely, his esteem for his colleagues is replaced by single-mindedness, until finally Thunderwing awakens from his haze, potentially victorious, but either abandoned or surrounded by the bodies of the few friends who tried valiantly to snap him out of it. In these dark moments, the usually noble Thunderwing is as deceitful and two-faced as any half-wit Decepticon. But what truly separates Thunderwing from the rest is his sheer power. His Pretender shell is likely the most powerful ever built, and it forms impenetrable armor around his robot body. Every inch is covered in weaponry, from the electrostatic guns in his shoulders to the hoses in his chest that emit dangerous gases, to even the rarely used metal-eating laser beam that fires out of his forehead. In addition to this built-in arsenal, he carries around his signature Cyclone cannon, the power of which is increased 50% by the power pack his shell houses on its back. In jet mode, Thunderwing can create a never-ending torrent of plasma charges. Because of all of this, Thunderwing is almost always successful in hunting down his obsessions, though at regrettable cost. Thunderwing is going to play a major role in the grandest story of the Transformers, y'all. He already has, right? There's going to be more to come. He's been used in future publications too. IDW and Dreamwave for a couple of examples. He is always portrayed as a world ender, or better said, a harbinger of a world ender. So much so that he's considered a scion of Unicron himself in some universes. He's had a lot of toy versions too. Gen 1, Generation Deluxe class from 2010 and 2012, as well as Siege on Cybertron. He's featured in games of Transformers 2, Transformers Legends, and Transformers Battle Tactics. Thunderwing's inner robot transforms into a rather simple Cybertronic shuttlecraft. His Pretender shell also transforms into a starship mode of its own. The inner vehicle can be attached underneath the nose of the larger vehicle to create a combined starship mode. The inner robot is relatively generic in appearance, as with most pretenders, while his outer pretender shell resembles an alien warrior with Japanese Oni influences. The inner robot carries a small cyclone cannon laser, while the shell is armed with 2 large laser blasters. All 3 of his guns can be mounted on his shell's vehicle mode. The large laser blasters can be mounted on the jet 2 different ways, either perpendicular or parallel to the wing undersides. The price for Thunderwing on the secondary market increased due to his use in fiction, such as books like we discussed, as a result of something that Wiki termed the bludgeon effect. Like you remember the Transformer bludgeon?
Yeah.
The samurai dude. Like both of those, him and Thunderwing both became very, very popular toys. Yep, cool looking toys that
no one paid
attention. Yeah, 2 cool guys. But the storylines here in Transformers made them even more popular. There is that. Little bit more. According to the Marvel UK story, The Big Shutdown, Thunderwing stands at 40 feet tall while in his pretender shell. It's worth mentioning. You remember I made a crack, I think last issue, but something about how Thunderwing is we never see his robots. Clearly the robot inside is teeny tiny. It probably is. It's yeah, we're gonna put you in this badass pretender shell. It's are we ever gonna see you again? And he's like, nah. This is me now. I'm 40 feet tall and I'm a freaking battle machine. Anyway. Thunderwing only transformed out of his humanoid shell mode once in the entire United States run of the Marvel Comics series. Even then, it was into his non-combined shell-only jet mode, leaving no hint that he had an inner robot mode at all. The only time we see his inner robot mode is in his first appearance in the Marvel UK Kingdom story, The Big Shutdown. Thunderwing's Marvel Comics appearances gave him a 4-barreled hand weapon that's completely fabricated, as it's not based on any of the toy's 3 guns. Basically, his 4-barreled cannon likely originated from the unpublished character model, and that's what took place in the book. A phenomenon seen often in the Marvel United States material, Thunderwing suffered from color scheme shift. At first, he appears in colors that approximate his toy's layout as best as the printing process allowed. Suddenly, in his biggest, most memorable appearances in 65 and 66, much of his blacks, grays, and blues were replaced by light greens. As a side effect of this phenomenon, since covers are colored in advance of the interiors, 66's cover featured a blue-armed Thunderwing with a green-armed Thunderwing inside the book. All of that, by the way, was directly cribbed from tfwiki.net again. Just want to make sure I'm giving credit to where credit is due. Thank you all so much. The one thing that TFWiki did not have, the tech specs, for whatever reason. And usually I looked up and down the profile, the tech specs were not included, but Google AI had them. So I will talk about Google AI very quickly. And the tech specs, there were 2 versions of the tech specs. And of course it is, because as we've seen, Thunderwing is a very complicated character. The 1989...
another summer.
I just had to give you that chance.
I was so enthralled into what you were telling me, Delvin, that I totally forgot.
Don't worry. Sometimes bits require setup, and you do that for your friends. One from the 1989 version, the strength was an 8, intelligence 7, speed 7, endurance 8, rank 6, courage 6, firepower 6, and skill 9. And then there was another tech specs that was just marked as other. Strength of a 9, intelligence 6, speed 8, endurance 8, rank 5, courage 7, firepower 10, and skill 5. The only thing I would really question on that is the rank, in that he even called himself in this book the Lord High Commander of the Decepticons. He was pretty high up there as far as the rank. So that's the only thing that I would have thought that was inconsistent. But ladies and gentlemen and bots, that is Thunderwing. I felt like he was owed a feature-length explanation there because he's been just such an important part of the book. So I hope that you all enjoyed that. And with that, we go to a promo break.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Hello, soldiers. I'm Jared Albrecht, the yard sale artist codenamed Death Probe, and I'm here to give you your orders to join me and my elite podcasting squad for G.I. Joe Chronicles. Who makes up this elite squad, you may ask? It starts with my right-hand man, Pat Sampson. Tell him your codename and specialty, Pat.
Well, Jared, I'm glad you asked. My codename is DJ Christados, and on G.I. Joe Chronicles, I specialize in G.I. Joe comic books, Marvel, Devil's Due, IDW. We cover them all. But there's so much more in the G.I. Joe Chronicles universe, and that's where our first sergeant comes in. He's Jim Mill. Sound off with your codename and specialty, Jim.
My specialty is everything else G.I. Joe. I'm going to talk about some comics too, but I'm also going to look at the G.I. Joe property from lots of different angles, including, but not limited to, the toys, cartoon, puzzles, train sets, bed sheets, Halloween costumes, you name it, and there's probably a Joe version of it, and I'm going to let you know it exists.
You forgot to tell the troops your codename.
Oh yeah, codename Weasel Skull.
I don't think you can have that one. I think it's taken.
Dang. How about codename Weasel Skull?
Strangely enough, that's also taken.
Orsted.
Oh, that's like a beautiful name, man. We could be cosmically...
Okay, never mind. I got it. Codename Dark Web.
No.
Pop Pop Hiss?
No.
Pimp Destro.
No.
Hot Thing?
No.
While my battle buddies get that ironed out, I invite you to join us for G.I. Joe Chronicles. You can listen to it on its own solo feed wherever podcasts are found, or catch it under the Longbox Crusade Network umbrella. We look forward to seeing you at Fort Longbox.
Yo, Joe! Okay, how about Jim the Joe Junkie?
Maybe.
We now return to the Transformers.
Ladies and gentlemen, robots, that is the show. Please come back and join us for the next episode where we discuss Transformers issue 67, where we see Unicron sent his goons to get to be his disruptor and when they're going to get him as well. Oh yeah, some guy named Jim Lee drew the cover too. No big whoop. If you'd like to hear more from us, Longbox Crusade, we are in a lot of places. Apple Podcasts, most podcatchers, to include Spotify. You can find Longbox Crusade, www.longboxcrusade.com as well. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you look for Longbox Crusade, you will find us. Patreon, we have a Crusaders Club. You can join for $1 a month. We're still grandfathered in. They haven't made us increase that price. YouTube, we have original content there on our channel there. Please come and subscribe. We could use more followers for Longbox Crusade via YouTube. We have some original content as well. Do a live stream once a month, every second Sunday. Come out to play a New Warriors podcast. Jared does like pop-in podcasts all over the place. He has one called Best Under 5. He reviews a IMDb movie that was rated under 5, usually with Black Belt Chris, but he's had rotating hosts. Just all sorts of good stuff, like in the comic book, television series, vintage series realm. We would love to have you there. Also, as a quick aside, just if you wanted to just look up Transformers Chronicles alone, because we are blessed to put out a lot of different content on Longbox Crusade, you can do so. You can just look up Transformers Chronicles and you will be able to find this particular podcast here. And you can hear me and Pat and John and Maggie and some of our guests and all of that. There's even a voicemail. You can leave us voicemail comments, 707-532-5269. That is 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone. Tell us where the
the
Matrix went.
Oh. And you can email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com. Pat, where you can be found on the internet, sir.
Well, Delvin, I am glad you asked. You can find me on the X at Christatos01, or I'm on the Longbox Crusade, other podcasts that are out there, so come and check them out as well. Delvin, where can you be found?
You can find me on Threads or Instagram at Delvin Ray. I'm sort of popping back up on Blue Sky a little bit, which is DEERAY1977, something like that. Go look it up. You'll probably find me. See you all next time. And remember, freedom is the right of all sentient beings to all are one.
Till all are one.
You got the power.
You got the touch. You got the power.
Yeah.
There we go.
All songs, song clips, and characters discussed are copyright of their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended, and it is for entertainment purposes only. We are just fans that like to share our love of comics.